So at the time, I was the best in my class, but I was the second overall.
Mm-hmm.
And then because I was feeling bad just because I knew that it was just a difference of points, something.
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling really bad. And it was the closest to me at the time. So I told him, and he would tell me, oh, yeah, when my parents usually, because I know his parents used to like nag at him if he doesn't like do well and stuff like that.
Well,
And then you'll be like, oh, there's a way you can, there's a way you can get rid of that pain. And then you brought out the blade. And then you told me that if I just cut myself like this, I would forget about everything that happened. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, how does inflicting pain on yourself take away pain? Like you're trying to get rid of pain, but you're inflicting more pain on yourself.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing about me, I'm a soft girl. I don't like anything that stresses me. I don't like it. I really don't like it.
Soft in
I don't know what made me. I guess I was too into that. Like I was so overwhelmed by what happened. And so the moment the blade touched my skin, hey, I'm sure everyone in school heard me that day. Oh my goodness.
He screamed.
I had to shout at him that, what? How is this helping you? How does this make you? It's like, no, you get used to it. I'm like, I don't want to get used to this. This is not something I would want to do.
No judgment here, just a friendly ear. Tune in every day, bring your worries near. Life count show, let the heartbeats flow. With AD we heal and grow. Life on the couch with AD. Talk it all out, set your mind free. Life on the couch, stories we share. AD's there.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Live Couch with Fady. Here we could talk about things that happen to the everyday people, things that sometimes people don't want to talk about. And the reason why we're here is so that somebody out there knows that they're not alone in the struggle of life, and that at the end of every struggle, there is light, there is hope, there is victory. Hang in there. This morning, or today, I have with me two beautiful ladies. And we'll be hearing from them. We'll be talking about teenage struggles or teenage, peer pressure. We'll just be hearing, how they have been able to navigate their teenage lives. And I will allow them introduce themselves. So, Ire, I say Ire 1 and Ire 2. So, Ire 1, please introduce yourself.
Well, that's right. I'm Ire. I guess the original one. But my name is Ire Mide. I know. I'm 20. I'm a student at the University of Calgary. I'm studying biomedical engineering with the digital minor. So that's my professional introduction, I would say.
All right. What do you do for fun?
So my hobby, I'm more of an introvert. I would say I like to spend time with God, by myself. Just like I'm dwelling on things. I would say then before like expressing or going outside to like party people. I mean, I guess it's an ambivert, like people I'm comfortable with, but I'm more of an introvert. I like to eat sometimes.
You like to eat?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then reading, maybe watching movies that I enjoy. Watching movies. So yeah.
Yeah, I know that you do some beauty. You work with a beauty store.
Yes.
Do you have a passion for that as well?
Yes. So I do like dressing people up, like making things beautiful, even in design. Like just generally, like from like makeup. I like interior design as well. So like I like beautifying spaces, our faces.
Nice. Well, we're looking out for you. So hopefully you start something on your own.
Yeah, yes. Coming soon, hopefully.
Ire 2. Can we hear from you?
Well, just because I don't like being second to anyone, my name is Dear Kolola Olua. Dear Kolola Olua. I'm also a student. I study at Royal University, and I'm currently studying computer information systems. Yeah.
Okay, what do you do for fun? Diego?
For fun. I like to lay on my bed, chilling, Like Iri said, I'm also an introvert, so
I guess introverts unite.
yeah, I guess.
So we have two introverts, but there's something I know that you love to do. What about BTS?
Oh yes, I
Korean?
love K-pop.
See, I don't
so
know how I'm the
much.
one reminding them of what they love to do.
Yes, I love K-pop so much. If you love K-pop, you and I are going to be very good friends.
It doesn't matter if they are bad people, as long as they love K-pop.
I guess that matters as well.
All right. Thank you, ladies, for joining me on the set today. And it's just a pleasure having you. So we'll dive into the questions. So we start with you, Diako Iri Diako. Can you share a specific instance where you felt pressured by your peers, and how did you handle it? I want stories. I want stories. I want people out there to relate with what you're talking about and probably learn a thing or two.
Okay. Looks like we're starting.
Or maybe let's take a step back before I go there. Maybe tell me about your family dynamics. How many of you are in the family? How many siblings do you have? That will hear from you as well. And then
Okay. It's just my brother and I, my younger brother.
Mhm.
It's my mom and my dad.
Okay. And what was childhood like for you? What's growing up? What's the home like?
Okay, well, growing up, I was like the only child for 9 years.
Okay.
So it was like, every child's dream, get what you want. They listen to you, but they're strict as well. You have to do it in school and everything. But then my brother came along. My parents got older. They're now softer. My brother. But, so love. But yeah, I growing up, I really enjoyed my childhood, I would say. It was really fun. Even though there were things I wanted to do that my parents would not allow me to, I feel like looking back now, it was in my best interest. Yeah.
Thank God you're wiser.
But I would say my brother has it easier than I did.
The younger ones always do. Trust me. Ire, do you want to tell us about your family?
Well, sure. So I'm the first child. We're a family of 5, 3 girls. I'm the first girl. Yeah. So and we're each 2 years apart. So growing up was very much like triplets. We all look alike, kind of, they say, and we're relatively the same height. So we're usually just the same.
Have you always been the same height?
Yeah, for the most part, when I look back on pictures too, it's like, well, there was like a time obviously when we were growing up, like we could see like the stepwise decrease in height. But still, like everything evened out very quickly, and then we're all the same heights. But yeah, it was really okay. It was really all love again. Our parents brought us up with love. Like they really showed that they loved us, and it was really evident, like in our lives, like in our family. The 3 of us girls between us as well, because because we're same sex. I don't know if that, but I would say that because we had like relatively same interests and we used to do the same things because we're all girls, share the same room. So it was just like a fun girls' party, really, from a young age. And yeah, we still each other everything. So
Can you tell me, you said your parents showed you love. Can you give me one example of how you felt loved?
it would show like we used to go on vacation, the public vacation, like just like they would say it and like they would show it apart from like the usual buying gifts or like affection or like what's it called, the long language that is just like showering with gifts. They would it was quality time that they spent with us and like the actions. My mom actually gave up her job to spend on us when we were very young. She had a banking job, but like she gave up that to spend more time with us. So that was what I remember when we were young.
Nice.
Yeah. So and they used to do like a lot of acts of service. They've done like sacrifice goods.
Nice.
Just like growing up, it's just like a nice time, you know. When you're like looking back at memories, just like a nice time, like pink you over it. So
Yeah. Who's stricter, your mom or your dad?
my mom, I would say growing up, because my dad was the one that was giving us everything. Yeah, we're growing up anyway. But when we're older now, I say my dad, because now it's like I don't know. That's how it is, I guess. I guess now because I'm seeing more things the way my mom sees it. I don't see her as stricter. Maybe that's why, because I just see her as more relatable. I understand better.
So now it looks like that is the one on the other side.
I guess because I used to say like a lot of when people ask me that why I closer to before it was easily like that, but now it's like I don't really know because like it's now even almost or like maybe even more my mom most times. Yeah. But growing up was my mom was the stricter one. Maybe because my dad was a more fun one. It would seem like she was stricter because she used to do everything, anything for the girls. So
Okay. Dear Ko, who's the disciplinarian? Is it your dad or your mom?
My mom.
So why? You didn't even hesitate.
Because okay. Well, I was a child. I feel like every teenager goes through like, I don't know, that phase of being careless or something. So before exams, like a week or 2 weeks before exams, like I would misplace my notes.
Before exams. Was that deliberate?
It's not my fault. People steal.
It's not your fault.
Steal.
Like you imagine, okay.
And my mom.
And then you expect her to pat you on the
I
back.
don't expect her to pat me on the back, but I don't also expect her to give me beatings like 13 times. Like it's like, and then my mom, there's one thing she does. I feel like I've told you this before. When she beats you, she's always like, "So who's the best mom in the world?" Like, what do you expect me to say after that? Like, but growing up, my mom was stricter, and I'm a daddy's girl now and forever. I will always be daddy's girl. My dad is like the best man in the world, best father. I love you, daddy.
I get you. So tell me something that made you feel loved growing up that your parents did.
I guess, well, when I was the only child, anything I wanted, I would get. And then family vacations once a year, like after the end of the semester, we would always travel out.
Now that you have a brother, are you saying you don't get what you want?
No, I get well, now I'm older, so I don't always have to like, I can't be like my brother that's younger and always like, oh, I want this and expect them to always give me what I want. I'm wiser. I should be able to make decisions for myself. So I'm not like the way I used to be back then. But
okay, demanding. Okay.
Yeah.
How does peer pressure impact your daily decisions and behavior?
For me, most of the times when I make decisions, I don't realize it until after.
Okay. You don't realize your decision until after.
I don't realize I've been pressured into getting things or doing things until after. If I see a girl wearing the latest Uggs or something, those are Uggs what you thought were nails.
This is what
If I see,
you guys, I'm not in town, no, I'm old. So how do you spell the O? Is it like a hog?
UGGS.
UGGS. Oh my God.
UGG, but then you call them Uggs.
Shoes are Uggs.
Shoes are Uggs.
Okay. And is this a style they always make?
Style, style.
For winter.
Oh, right.
So
see, they're teaching me. They're teaching me.
Warm cozy autumn fall.
Oh my God.
Warm
For the
cozy autumn
record,
fall.
see, I was harassing her. I was like, why are you wearing these shoes on set? And she was like, I'm sure she was, she gave me a confused, like, don't you know what I'm wearing? I'm wearing what's trendy. Oh, dear. Anyway, go on.
So if I see someone wearing the latest Nikes or the latest sweater or something, I'm like, subconsciously, it's already in my mind that, oh, those look nice. I should get those. They will look really good on me. And then I get them. And then after I'm like, but do you really need this thing? But it's too late and it looks good on me. And I'm trying my best to stop, but most of the time you can't help it. Most of the time.
Okay. As long as it sticks to maybe just outfits and it's not something more serious.
Yes.
So in that type of case, so when she said that she would have made it and then she won't know that, oh, she was pressured in that case. I would say that for me it's different because I would actually like, just think, I like to make the decision before I start a day. I like to like think, like I said, I'm very reflective. I don't like to just do anything because I don't know, I'm very, I guess, melancholy because I've had to know myself because I'm always, sometimes you can get stuck in your head and you have to recognize it and then so you can be able to adjust to like know about it. You have self-knowledge is really key. So when I decided that it's best to just make decisions on your own. Like I like to make decisions by myself. And then the question is like, when like this peer pressure affects your day. So obviously you're trying to do what you set out to do and you're already like I'd have made plans and everything. Well, we come across people every day. So but people will come along and then you always have that thing that okay, I've done my own, this is my own, but like somebody else comes along with their own thing. And then you always have to now you're presented with two things, have to do that, comparing, contrasting those that thing that is brought to you. So that's how it really affects. Like it's something like another invitation. That's something that's always there. So for me, it's always power of choice and place of respect. Like, am I going to respect myself? Like in this situation, who comes like in everything, like God, obviously, does this serve God? That's the first question. If it does, that's even out, not even the decision to be made. And the second one, things like trivial things like that. It's like, okay, in this type of case, is it really about me or like you have to place of respect, as much as you like to respect other people. Say love other people as you love yourself, not more than. So that's what like decision is always a decision. So the pressure is always something and it's just an invitation that's brought to you. It's always now your choice to now decide. In this life is always a decision. Even when we wake up, it's always a decision. So in that type of case, I would now think about it. Yes, it actually looks good. It looks good, but I'm not talking about it because it actually happened to me before I bought this. I actually said to someone and they're like, oh, okay, but I actually have an outfit that it's look good on. So I guess it's not a bad thing to see. Like it's a nice hint that okay, this is something can add to your wardrobe and you have this is like your style, right? So that was one pressure because it could have been something like, oh, not like I did it instantly, but I took the time step
To
back.
think about it before doing it. That's nice. So I see like someone who is vulnerable enough to say, oh, sometimes I do it. And it happens to everybody. It's not even because they're a teenager. Even people like us, right? You see something you're not even thinking about, you buy it. You don't even know if it's, and then after you're like, do I really need this? Yeah. So it's not, it's what I'm trying to say doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It's just, and then I like that you are aware of it. It's something you are thinking about consciously. Right? And then you can make decisions. And it's a good thing that you already have that, where you are able to reflect before you make that decision. The reason why we're doing this is we have different kinds of people out there. And sometimes people do things and they feel like, oh, I'm the worst person in the world. No, nobody's the worst person. Everybody, there's opportunity to learn. There's always opportunity to grow, right? And so people can relate with what they're hearing here right now. Okay, so can you share a specific instance where you felt pressured by your peer or peers? How did you handle it?
So I guess particular thing that comes to mind is one in school, obviously. In school where
Was that
we're
secondary
actually
school
doing-
or?
I guess there was some in secondary school, like obviously there's a lot of the scenarios. But this one that comes to mind, I guess it was here in university.
Okay.
When I was I'm in my third year now. So particular one that comes to mind like first year or so, second year. I think my friends, like first year, obviously, you know when you're first year, you want to make friends, like a new person there, know everybody, anybody that talks to you, be their friend because you don't know anybody. So I guess so, something like that. Then she was actually a good friend, and when you get to know her, like she now mentioned that she like on the week was a new week, and then on Monday morning, let's ask her, oh, okay, how was your weekend and everything. Then she was just telling me like, oh, how everything went. I think she even brought to me like that something happened to her and everything. There was a problem with one of our other friends. And the situation where they were, like she found herself, she was just telling me the whole thing and everything, the thing to me. And then she mentioned that, oh, it actually happened in a place where she was drinking. And to me, that raised the red flag to me, like, I didn't know that about you. Like, oh, so you drink. But I guess like it's not like in this situation, it's like I didn't really react that way, obviously, at that time. Just like it raised bells or like alarms in my head. And in that point in time, it was actually a decision to me because she was actually one of my very close friends at that point. She was my only like a friend, like for me, a friendship, like she was actually a good person. And just that thing about her was like, oh, okay, like now it's a decision. Like, what are you going to do about it? So I just had that note in my head about that. And then I guess people would have been so like vulnerable, like, to just, because the next time we actually had the events where they were drinking them and it was a place where you obviously see people around you. So And my friends were actually drinking there, so they were saying that, okay, do you want any, like they were there, right, in the event. So I knew that about her, that she drinks. So she got a beer and everything. And then I was the only one I joined, I got my water. So in that type of case, that was a place where I was pressured, like there could have been pressure. But to me, like, I guess a good written knowledge of like yourself and like the consequences after. I think the main thing that will allow you to like sit up or like, is like, this is what's going to happen after. You have to like choose now, or like, I guess you have to really be able to visualize the after effects. People don't really visualize it because until you've landed in it. Like, because I feel like I've already had it happen to me so many times, and I hate the feeling of like consequences when this could have gone. Not like it's, but like I just like things to optimize the outcome of things. So when like, oh, it's not like it's serving me, and even if I do it, it's not leaving me something. So like it's like you can produce good. It's not even serving me at all. It's not be like, oh, negative. Like, why would I even do that one? Like, so yeah, I that happened. So like the pressure now came in the fleeting moments. I was like, this is a decision. Like, okay. Because I was actually pulled so much like it was something I had to think about because she was my friend. Like, she's such a good person. If she's doing it, maybe something's okay. I don't know. But that was how I managed it. Only just like reflecting that, oh, this is me. I don't think I can do it.
Yeah, I'll just step in here. And it's values. Like if your personal values are to not drink because you know the consequences, because you know this won't work for me. Yeah. It's about being able to think in that instant, I want to stick to my value. Like you said, she's not a bad person because she drinks. But if she doesn't think there's anything, or she knows how to manage
In that
the
part of time, my
consequence.
values just didn't align.
You know, maybe your values don't align that way. And then, well, I don't know, maybe in future you avoid where, I don't know, but if you're an adult and you know how to manage and make decisions. I'm just saying that the values for people are different. You know, some of those things, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily bad people, right? But at least you were able to think about the consequence and that stopped you from going ahead. Okay. Diako, do you have a story for us?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay. So for me, I'll never forget this incident. Never.
All right.
Ever.
Okay. What is it?
So I used to have a friend who at the time, if he was going through things, he would cut himself.
Wow.
He would like try to inflict pain on himself. And so
he's making things worse. Right?
I guess.
Okay.
This was in secondary school, by the way.
Okay.
So there was this thing that happened after every exam in my school. They would usually call like the best 3 students from each classes, and then the best 3 students overall from all the classes
in the whole school.
So at the time, I was the best in my class, but I was the second overall. And then because I was feeling bad, just because I knew that it was just a difference of points, something. I was feeling really bad. And he was the closest to me at the time. So I told him, and he would tell me, oh, yeah, when my parents usually, because I know his parents used to like nag at him if he doesn't like do well and stuff like that. Well, and then you'll be like, oh, there's a way you can, you know, there's a way you can get rid of that pain. And then you brought out the blade. And then you told me that if I just cut myself like this, I would forget about everything that happened. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, how does inflicting pain on yourself take away pain? Like you're trying to get rid of pain, but you're inflicting more pain on yourself.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing about me, I'm a soft girl. I don't like anything that stresses me. I don't like it. I really don't like it.
Soft in
I
life.
don't know what made me. I guess I was too into that. Like I was so overwhelmed by what happened. And so the moment the blade touched my skin, hey, I'm sure everyone in school heard me that day. Oh my goodness.
He screamed.
I had to shout at him that, what? How is this helping you? How does this make you? It's like, no, you get used to it. I'm like, I don't want to get used to this. This is not something I would want to do. And then I feel like in that moment, I was like, I don't think this is the kind of person I want to be with, like, be friends with, because his values does not align with mine. That's not something I would do to myself. No matter, I feel like now at this stage I am in life, no matter what happens to me, I would never think of doing such a thing.
Such a thing.
But Yeah.
So I have a question for you. What if that thing because you actually thought of doing it
Yes, I.
and you took the blade and you tried it?
Yes.
What if there's no pain? Would you have done it?
What if there was no pain? I think I would have. I think I would have. Because at the time I was so overwhelmed and I was so disappointed in myself. Maybe because I was used to being the best. I think that's something I've worked on now. Trying not to get. I'm still working on, because most of the times I still get disappointed when I don't do well, because I feel like I know my abilities and I know what I can do. So when I don't do well, I'm like, well, I worked hard. Why is this not working for me? If it didn't cause pain, I think
you would probably have done it. And good thing that it was just blade, because if it was a substance, for example, it won't be painful. You probably would have felt better temporarily. And then maybe gone on to be addicted. And so we're grateful that that was painful. So one thing I just want to chip in here is, see, I know as kids growing, transitioning from being kids into teenagers and adulthood, one thing you need to accept is things will not always go your way. You will not always be the best. You will not always get what you want. Things may not always go the way you want it to go. That's life. It doesn't mean that you stop striving to be the best, right? Put in your best in anything that you're doing. But if things don't go your way, just take a step back. What did I do wrong? Always never see it as failure. See it as something like there's a lesson to learn from this, and do it again. For example, you say you know your abilities, right? I know I can do this. Even if I didn't get it right the first time, I go back and do it. But the way out is never inflicting pain or using substance, or, it's about knowing that I didn't fail. I just learned how to do it better. Right? I thought I would chip that in. So how do you feel about influence of friends versus influence of family in your life?
Okay. The influence of my family is definitely stronger on me.
Okay. How so?
Because, well, I'm very close with all my family members. Maybe not all, but I'm very close with my aunties and my uncles. Like, I tell them everything.
Everything.
Everything. Okay, maybe not everything, but I tell you everything. Don't worry. The things you need to know, I tell you.
I know. Okay, go on.
But and maybe because I don't have lots of friends, I don't make a lot of friends, not coming from a place of pride or anything.
I think I just steal that from her. I think it's even because because I think I know her. I know myself, and then I see myself in her. Like, I said that we have this thing. In the first place, who are my friends? That's the thing. I don't really have much friends in the first place. People that I call friends, you would have gotten to a certain place where, okay, maybe you're almost like family. So the friendship is that you're not even related to me, but you're like my family. That's it. So I guess we'll have acquaintances, but or have people that we see every day, or people that we have, passerby, people that have.
So I was going to say that. That
Mm.
people that pressure you may not necessarily be the people who are close to you. We watch movies, you see things. They are, for example,
direct.
it doesn't have to be people that are close to you.
Yeah.
You go to church, you see what people are doing. You go to school, so it's not necessarily the people that are close to you, like friends. It could be anything, right? It could be social media. In fact, that's the strongest. Social media, and you don't even know. You may not know the person that you're following or you're imitating. Does that make sense?
Most of the time we do.
You don't. You just God, I just like this girl. She's wearing this, or she's doing this. I want to be, So So how do you just compare both? Which you said your family.
I said my family.
The influence is stronger. Okay. How does that help you to not follow the pressure of the world? Let's say it like that. I mean, every other person apart from your family, of life, of church, of school, of,
Or maybe because my mom and I were close, we're definitely closer than before now.
Okay.
And so
Thank God she was strict. That's why you can be close now.
not really.
So, okay.
And so I tell her everything and she gives me advice. And then I've also grown. And so there are things I know I'm like, this is not something I want to do. I can make decisions on my own. And there are people, and there's one, okay, so I know most people are always like, you're who you're with. But most of the time, it doesn't apply to everyone. Because I have friends that smoke, that vape. And does that mean I'm also going to vape Sunday? I don't think so. Because I know what I want, and I know what I can do, and I know what I can't do, what I don't want to do. Because if it was by that, I would have been doing that since like secondary school. Or I would have been inflicting pain on myself since secondary school, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And so I feel like aside from my family being a very good influence on me, your own person determines
Yeah.
if you get pressured easily. Things like that.
That's an interesting point. But sometimes you become your own person because of the family that you have, because of the values they have instilled in you, because of the disciplines they have, inflicted. I'll use that word on you. So yeah, I understand you.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the foundation that you have also helps to develop who you are, your thought process. Being able to take a step back to think, like she was saying. Yeah. So
Definitely what you said, like what is really the main point of it, the main crux. But born in a home, that's where we form, that's where we really become a person.
yeah.
Because as much as biological or DNA, the environment really like shapes you. Because the point of iteration, if you've been doing this like this for how many years, maybe 10 years, this is how you come to know it. So see it from another point of view, it's hard unless like start stepping out into like another stage like as like college, start seeing opposing and start deciding. Because when you're in a family, like you don't really have much choice, like you said, like you were born there, you see what you're shown. You don't really know much, unless aside from families that presents choices. There's some families that presents this or this, and they allow you to choose. But most of the time, in traditional families, you are growing up with a set of values, most of which are really for your own good in the family that loves you. And obviously, it's not like So the question is, how does the place of family, or like pressure from family or pressure from friends influence? So like, how is that? So I guess obviously from families, because it's stronger, because like it's that's where you are from. That's where you have everything that you know right now. And they know most of the things you've done before. I think that's one of the things. They know what you've done wrong. They know your really much about your weaknesses, strength. They know where you lack things. They know where you're meant to develop. So the pressure from family is greatest, because almost like they know you fully, and almost like I feel like your family can almost end you, because if anything, like people that you live with anyway from growing up, because they know who you are, they know where you lack, they know where you like, they know they know the spots. They know everything. They really know everything, like how the screwdriver. They know which points to really unscrew and screw in you. Especially sisters are like, yeah, they really know how to push So, and in good ways and bad ways, they know if. So I'm just saying like, pressure from family is greater, because like it's different. It's because they have is a more interesting thing, because that's the melting point you came out from. Whereas with friends, it's more like, okay, I've come out now, like after being friend, this is now what I'm going to like decide. Because even before you choose or make those external things, you're first meeting in the home, like I said. So just choosing those things like friends is now a point of facing with like how is now a point of strength, like how strong, who is stronger when you're with friends or like external things, like how deep is this conviction of who you are. Like if people are always going to ask you questions, so people got like challenge whatever you believe, because like even the thing of, okay, say you don't vape, because you never vaped before, so when you first met someone that vapes, it's like, okay, you don't vape, but they've never done it before. Like, why don't you? There's always a question of why. People are going to ask you why. Even social media, you think that, okay, this is who I am. Like at this point, I like what I'm wearing. Somebody can come now and say that, oh, you're wearing white on black and black on black. Why can't you wear white on black? That it looks better. So it's like, okay, as a challenge, what am I going to do about that? It's like, okay. So comment about like external things is always like, how strong are you going to be like in your own actions or your own will, like your own decision? You really just develop strength, and it's not stubbornness or like unwillingness to change. You just have to know why. Because if you have the values,
The why.
because
the
it's
why.
actually not all changes like bad.
Mhm.
Because if truly the white and blacks look better, you can
That's
adapt
right.
it.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no,
Yep.
yeah, it's
So
just
being open-minded as
so
well.
I think the main thing is having a clear vision of who you want to be. Because if everything is, doesn't matter about who I've been or we're all moving forward as long as there's life. Because really, what are we doing here? 'Cause truly, what are we doing here if you don't have like a clear vision? Because especially in Nigeria, people move you around.
Yeah.
Everything is going.
And
Everybody is
whatever
turning on
direction, you
you.
just be moving with them. So I'm going to say that with all this, I'm sure you both know what self-esteem is. How does self-esteem influence peer pressure?
Yeah,
What's the
by
main
God's
thing?
grace that I'm talking now. But yeah, so I will talk as a survivor or someone that is surviving. So
What did you survive?
yeah,
Solo
self-esteem.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
talk as a survivor and then I talk as a survivor and then like obviously there's always it's a journey, right?
Mhm.
But I was in a place where it was actually really bad. Like those teenage years were rough. Like I grew up in Nigeria in a girls' boarding school, a Catholic girls' boarding school, all girls. And yeah, I wasn't the biggest. Even now, I was much smaller than I am now. As one physically.
So
And
did that
then-
affect you?
Yeah, so I'm just saying, yeah, that was one
Okay.
side. I wasn't the biggest. Number two, but I was very strong academically. And I had a very strong sense of will. But just that and like just the camaraderie around, like for me, it was about phone use or like social media. So when I was in just one, but when I came in just two, just one, those times, I was okay with myself. But like when people started talking about what they used to do in the holidays, like our phone and everything, I was looking back, I feel like I could have waited before I got my first phone. But I was just so into like, I have to get an iPhone. I made my dad promise me that when I become, like, if I come first, he's going to get me an iPhone. And I did come first. And he got me an iPhone. I was like, and I don't think it was worth it, like as much as I placed it. Now, just looking back on it, it's just like, that was actually pressure. I mean, it was a positive pressure because I did come first. It was for my own good. It
It
was,
could have been negative.
yeah. But the way I went about it was a good promise, was a good reward system. But I don't think the reward was not even what the first should have been enough. Was the phone was so smaller. I like the effect of what it did because like I was 10 years old when I got my first phone. I feel like I could have waited a bit more. And my mom saw this. Okay, but my dad like wanted to keep his promise to me, and that was fair on his own part. I'm just saying like that was when he started bubbling up. Was 2014 or so, like things like Snapchat, Instagram, all those things. I was like, I don't even know myself first. So am I opening myself to other things like that are forming me?
I know, right?
So like, because all those things are really forming me, all those feed things. But like you see things and like, oh, okay, people are doing it, or they're saying that she looks nice in the comment section. Okay, let me do it. It's like, I don't know. Like just things like that. Like even like, because you lose yourself.
Yeah, you
And
do.
I think that for me, like when I say I survived, like you just lose. And like I lost, like was it worth losing really? Because it's really like such a good thing to have. Like you don't need to lose yourself in social media, really. It should just something like, it should be an appendage, something that you can add on. So.
Okay.
I don't think I've really experienced low self-esteem. I think I'm very, like, I'm just, like, I don't care no matter what you say, I know it's not me. Except I'm very close to you, except the people around me. If they tell me, I don't like how you look, I'll be like, oh, what's wrong with me? But anyone else, I don't care what you say. I am my own person. I already know I'm a fine girl.
Oh, mom.
Hey. Everyone's dream girl. I don't.
That is good.
But things are, but the people around me, people I care about, people I really like, I look up to. If they tell me things like, "Oh, what's wrong?" or "You're looking so today,"
then it will affect you.
down. Yeah.
Self-esteem is something, I just wanted to say for people out there, teenagers, self-esteem is not, sometimes some people have it like from scratch.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's something you have to work on and develop, over time. So if you feel like you don't have it, you're struggling right now, it doesn't mean that's the end of the world. Some people, it takes a while for them to build their self-esteem. It's not everyone that, has a good self-esteem right from, from birth. So it's okay if you're struggling. It doesn't mean that it's the end for you. Keep working on it. Take a step back. Like we've heard these ladies, talk about today. Take a step back. Why am I doing this? For what reason? Is it just to please someone? Is it because of me? Or, sometimes you can work on your self-esteem. Some people even get to their 30s or their 40s before they truly find themselves and they're truly confident in themselves, right? And I just wanted to throw that out there. If you're struggling with it right now, it doesn't matter what age you are. It's never too late to begin to work on your self-esteem. What do you think parents should know about the challenges you face with peer pressure and teenage life? Is there something you think parents out there should know and how they can help or be more supportive for their teenagers?
I would say, I think the biggest thing for me is comparison.
Okay.
Yeah. There's something they say in Yoruba, but I will not say it because my Yoruba is not that good.
Say it anyhow.
I'll just use myself as they'll be like, "Shade their coloring meji." When I don't know, when you do something, they're like, does the other person have to it? Why are you not? Like, you don't know what the other person is doing. What you are seeing, what the person is sharing. I feel like everyone has gone through this. You go to your friend's house, suddenly you become the housemaid. You like washing plates, suddenly you like sweeping the floor. You're like, you want to show that you're a good person. It's just what they are showing you. You don't know who they really are. The comparison of, can't you be like her? Can't you? Like, I feel like that's one thing that really makes people like, okay, fine, I'll try it. So
So that's the hugest thing for you.
That's the biggest thing for me. Stop comparing.
Yeah, comparison.
Sometimes it drives people to the edge and it makes them do things they don't want to do, but just because they want to see you happy, or just because they want to please you.
And begin to pretend.
What's
a positive thing that you think your parents or parents out there can do to support teenagers?
I think if they let them know that experiencing peer pressure is like if they have experienced it, trying to share their experiences with their children as well.
Being vulnerable with their kids.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not every time strong man, main mounts. It's not every time. You try to be vulnerable, but at the same time also try to model yourself as, try to model a healthy behavior with yourself and your kids, and try to let them know that you're always there for them. Try to help them.
Yeah.
I think that for parents, just open communication is key.
Yeah.
Like they just should ask questions and listen more, because I know that parents, they like to parent us. So think at this stage where everybody's parenting us, think you don't also be fighting with us. Feel like if you come from a place of come with you, because that's what the world is doing. Because if we are, it caters to our emotions as well at this stage, because like we're posed with so many things at this point. But the one that we feel that, is liking me, I'll just go there. And that's why all these vices come about. It's like, your friend says this will help.
When you feel like you're accepted, even if it's the wrong circle.
You know what I'm saying? But you feel accepted. And most of them don't know better or even do know better, but it's like, but at least I'll be okay here. Like, I won't have to go through so much stress. That's
with
the word.
these people.
Stress with that. I'll just do it. But I don't think parents or like a home should be like that. I feel like it should be, and anything just come as
safe haven.
Okay here. Even if you, I just
mistakes,
come.
whatever,
just
it's okay
come.
to come back.
Just come. And then, because they also, we know that they want the best for you, but come and then we can't talk about it. We can't really fix it. So communication is key. So listen more.
I like that. If you allow your home be a place where your kids can come and have conversations with you, even if they make mistakes, they won't go to the wrong people for advice, right? It's easy for them to come back. For these teenagers to come back and discuss this with you. And I always tell people, your parents will never ever lead you astray. Like they're the ones who will tell you the truth. Your friends outside will be like, I was my own, let her do it, that's her life. They won't tell you the truth, or they'll just hype you ahead, and all that. Your parents are the ones, or your family, maybe, maybe your aunties or the people you have around you, they're the ones that will give you the right direction at the end of the day. But then the parents have to make that environment conducive for these teenagers to come back and be themselves as well. So just one line, what message do you have for your fellow? I know you're no longer teenagers, you just crossed, you guys just became, crossed the teenager, whatever, but what word do you have for them? Just one line.
It is well.
It is well. Oh, that's how it goes. It is well with what?
Honestly, I think they'll get it. Feels like
They'll get
honestly,
it.
I feel like as you grow up,
like there's nothing
you
more to say.
understand.
Yeah. I
Don't
feel like-
stress.
Don't stress.
Just live your life.
Yes.
Try to, and then leverage people around you for advice and things like that. All right. Thank you, ladies. It's just been a very beautiful conversation here. Give it up for Ire and Ire.
Ire one.
You just
made
this
Ire-
Ire one.
No, she called herself the culture out, and then she's not giving the real one.
Okay, Ire
Ire
one and Ire one. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been a beautiful time with you, ladies. And I do not take your time for granted. I say thank you for joining me on sets. And I hope you guys have been able to pick one or two things from these beautiful ladies. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, Life Couch with AD. And until next time, on the set of Life Couch with AD. Bye.
Hey.
Okay, so let's start now. Let's record now. Are you ready?
Record what?
I thought everything you did.
Are you serious?
Lie. Hey.